Unit 6, or also Unit 5, depends on what program you are in. We're studying economics. We're going to take a hard turn away from government. So don't forget about the principles and the ideas and the documents, but we're going in a different direction. We're talking about people making choices. We're talking about business. We're talking about money. Start the timer. Timer started. Economics. We're going to study some economic terms in this lesson. We want to build a foundation and have a basic vocabulary that will help us throughout the unit. So we're going over terms. What is economics? Economics, we are studying choices involving goods. We're studying choices involving production. Why do we make the things that we make? Why do we make bread? Why do we make cars? Why do we sell tomatoes and potatoes? Why? That's what an economist would do. In economics, we're studying the choices that humans make. Distribution. Why do we exchange the goods? Why do we sell what we sell? Why do people choose to sell certain things? And then why do people choose to buy certain things? Why do they choose to buy them at certain prices? Why do they choose to refuse to buy them at certain prices? This is economics. Production. So when we're studying production in economics, we're studying the things that we make. We're studying cars, TV, music. Why do people make certain songs? Why do they make certain types of songs? Why do they make cars? Why do we make fast cars? Why do we make big cars? Why do we make small cars, TV? Why do we raise farms where we raise cows and then kill the cows and then sell the cows? Why do we make what we make? Why do we make those decisions? Why do we distribute what we distribute? Semi-trucks, Walmart, theaters, iTunes. Okay, Walmart does not make pizza. DiGiorno makes the pizza. Walmart sells the pizza to you. Why do they do that? How do they go about doing that? How do they make a profit? How do they know how much money to spend on 500,000 pizzas from DiGiorno that they put in the freezer and then sell to you? How do theaters know what prices to sell and what movies to buy and how long to keep the movie in the theater? iTunes does not make the song Old Town Road. That was Lil Nas. He makes the song. But how does he get that song to you? That's what the distributors do. That is distribution. We would study that in economics of how is the best way of going about distribution. Do we need distribution? Would it have made sense if Lil Nas just did it all on his own? Maybe he just creates his own website and he can find a way to distribute on his own. And again, McDonald's, they distribute the cheeseburgers, but they didn't raise the cow. Consumption, we would study in economics. Why do we buy what we buy? Why do people pay certain prices for cars? Why do they pay certain price? Like I put CD. You can tell how old this lesson is. You're like, what is a CD? Movie tickets. Why do you pay certain prices? Why do you go to the movies that you go to? These are the things that we study in economics. Why do we make it? Why? How do we get it to people? And who buys what? And how do we buy it? Big item here, the word scarcity. This is one of the biggest terms in economics and throughout not just through this unit. This is something that you've already experienced. You know the feeling, you know the concept, you just don't know the word for it. Scarcity, the textbook definition, means the inability to satisfy all wants at the same time. That's the textbook. That's the dictionary version. Basically, we are saying resources and goods, that should have an S there, are limited. Stuff is limited. You can't have everything that you want. There's only so much gold. There's only so much oil. There's only so many diamonds. There's only so many Lamborghinis. Goods are limited. Resources are limited. You cannot have everything you want. And because you cannot have everything you want, you have to make choices. And boom, that's it. We find out. So imagine the early humans, they have to start making choices of what they do with their time or what they spend their money on or the goods that they go after. Once that happens, someone starts looking and say, why did you do that? Why did you make that choice? Why did you decide to make a spear? Why did you decide to make a hammer? Why did you decide to sleep 10 hours yesterday? Or why are you hunting a tiger when you could be hunting a monkey? There's an economist in the group and he's studying the people's actions. Now, maybe he's just studying because he thinks it's fun, but maybe he's also studying their actions because he can figure out, look, that's a stupid choice. If we stop doing that and start doing this, we can be a stronger group. We can be more effective as a group or as a town or as a nation. Scarcity is really the beginning of that. Once we realize that goods are scarce, we realize we have to make choices. 2004, HD TVs they were very scarce. Not very many people could make that choice. In 2011, there was lots of HD TVs. Now watching this video, you know there's HD TVs everywhere. You would not describe them as scarce. So now you understand the economic concept of scarcity. Let's look a little bit further. In this picture, what's scarce? Blue M&Ms are scarce. What am I trying to confer to you here? Water is scarce in the desert, so people in the desert have to make choices. Here you're seeing that gasoline. Hopefully you're able to figure out gas station prices. Everybody's lining up. There is a scarcity of gasoline. With the idea of scarcity, we can study a lot of different things. Now that you know that scarcity exists, you can also understand that, okay, we can't have whatever we want. That's kind of depressing. We have to make choices and we have to give stuff up. That's kind of depressing. Welcome to economics, the dismal science. We study basically losing. You have to make hard choices. Sometimes you have to choose between a lot of bad things. It can be kind of depressing at sometimes. That is why economics is the dismal science. I'm sorry, but not everyone can get everything they want. It's just the way it is. If you don't like it, then this is going to be a tough unit for you. But if you understand it and you embrace it and you're honest about it, then you will start making better choices and you can get ahead in life. Choice, very easy. Selecting an item or action from a set of alternatives. This is one of the basic things that we study in economics, is making a choice. And a lot of times we make that choice based on price, quality, or desire. Those are not the only variables, but those would be the most common variables in making choices. Why did I not buy a TV in 2007? Because it was too much. Price affected my choice. 2011, the price dropped, and I said, you know what? Now I can buy one. Today, you can buy a TV for almost nothing. And price is probably not even a factor. You go to Walmart and buy a TV, price probably isn't a variable. Quality is the variable. You look at the quality of the TV, whether you will buy it or not. Choice. What am I going to buy? Price could come into play. The gum's usually cheaper. The chips are probably the most expensive. Quality. Quality of all these products is probably about the same. They're all brand name. It really would come down to desire. Are you looking for salty or are you looking into sweet? And economist, I don't know why I'm having so many trouble saying them words today, folks. But they would study, why are people making these choices? Which university would you choose to attend? Would you make the decision based on price or quality, or just, man, I grew up a Virginia Tech Hokie fan, I got to go to the Hokies? Oh, but Virginia is ranked the #1 public university in the country. So quality-wise, I want to make this choice. But I think they got better sports. The quality of their sports are better, and it's cheaper to attend Virginia Tech. Choice. And economics, we'll study choice, and we'll break down why those choices are made. Do you want to dance the night away, as Van Halen once said, or are you going to study? What choice are you going to make? Why are you making that choice? Why do you desire one thing over the other? Resources. Resources are the factors of production in producing goods and services. So if I do a quick math problem here, 5 times 4 equals 20. We call this in math the product. Wow, man, you're teaching math now. Whoa, blowing my mind. And these two things are called the factors. 5 and 4 are called the factors. 20 is the product. So we're studying the factors that go into the final product. And when we make a good, that is the product. If I make a cheeseburger, that is the product. If I make a TV, that is the final product. So what went into that product, those are the factors. Those factors are called resources. We're going to go over 3 of them: human resources, natural resources, and capital resources. These 3 resources are the factors that go into the final product, which is the TV. Obviously, you need a human to build that TV, and you need natural resources so that that human can put together the natural resources to make that TV. Those are glass, gas, and plastic. Combine those resources to produce the TV. But you also need capital resources, which factories, machines, money is probably the biggest one. Sorry, my brain went, I was forklift. I was trying to think of a forklift. That's when my brain, if you're wondering, like, why did he just freeze? I could see in my brain forklift, and I couldn't think of the word. Factories, buildings, machines, like a forklift, computers. Those are the capital resources that you also need to combine to make goods. But money is usually the biggest one. You can't run a business, you can't run a factory unless you have money. That is one of the most important capital resources. You combine those three resources, you put them together, the human, the natural resources, the capital resources, and you can provide a product. You can produce goods. And in this example, it was an HDTV. Also, though, entrepreneurship can be connected. You could say that entrepreneurship is technically a human resource, but that's fine. We're talking about the brains, the design, the idea of selling the TV. Those resources combine to produce goods. Human resources, natural resources, capital resources. Entrepreneurship. Again, production is combining those resources to make a good. Human, natural, capital. You combine all three of those resources, you will get a product. That is production. Consumption is using a good or service. That can be eating something, that could be just buying something, that could be watching something, that can be using something like a car, but that can also be simply just listening. Right now, you are consuming a product. You are consuming this video, which is a PowerPoint. These guys are consuming a service just by listening and practicing what the sensei is teaching them. Opportunity cost, that which is given up when a choice is made. Remember, there is a lot of scarcity in this world. We have to make choices. We have to choose between items. So if I choose quality, I often give up low cost. Now, if I choose to buy the cheap product, the product that doesn't cost very much money, then I often give up quality. So it's what you give up when you make a choice. Remember, in economics, we're studying choice. We're studying all the choices. And when we make a choice, I choose A, I don't want B. Okay, B is the opportunity cost. And in economics, I can study, all right, what did you give up? Why did you give it up? What did you get in return? So opportunity cost is the thing that we did not choose. It's the thing that we gave up. Because again, scarcity, folks, you can't always get what you want. I was going to try to sing it, but I decided probably don't want that on video forever. If I choose to study, I give up free time with my friends. And I'm a loser. But if I choose free time with my friends, then I fail the test. And I'm a loser. Opportunity cost. It's the dismal science. It's depressing, folks. Sorry. So again, if I choose quality, I give up low cost. But if I take the cheap option, then I give up quality. Opportunity cost, by definition, is what you give up when you make a choice. Incentives, things that incite or motivate a consumer's economic behavior. Incentives, again, this is another concept or an idea that you are already familiar with. You just don't know the term for it. Black Friday, coupons, they are incentives. They convince you to buy things that you wouldn't normally buy. They convince you to do things that you normally wouldn't do. We see this in business. We see this in school. Teachers, principals, your parents, they will provide an incentive that will change your behavior. That is an incentive. They create like, hey, if you guys are cool for the week, on Friday, we'll have a pizza day. And so for the week, you decide to be cool and behave and do what you're supposed to do because you've been given an incentive. Pizza day on Friday. They're going to bring in some Papa John's pizza. That is an incentive, and it is designed to change your behavior. Businesses do this as well. They really want you to buy TVs. I want you to buy my HD TV. So they'll give you a coupon. Oh, I wasn't going to buy a TV, but now it's so cheap, so I'm going to buy it. They have changed your economic behavior by creating an incentive. Sales, coupons, commercials, midnight releases, these are all incentives to change your economic behavior. Money, it's simply currency. Those are coins, dollars, checks, debit cards, not credit cards. Credit cards are not money. That does not count because that is not actual money you are borrowing. So again, money is coins, dollars, checks, or debit cards. Those represent actual money, not money that you are borrowing. How was money invented? I'm not going to go into that. That might be a video that we record another day. Consumer sovereignty. Sovereignty is a fancy word for power. And it means that consumers, you, the consumer, you, the person that's consuming, you, the person that are buying, have power. What am I looking at? What are those things? I don't know what those are. You don't know what those are because those don't exist anymore because of consumer sovereignty. We don't buy these things, so they don't make light-up shoes. Well, actually, those came back, and actually this came back for a little while. But cassettes are gone. These big computers are gone. VHS tapes are gone. If you don't want it, they won't make it. We have power. That is consumer sovereignty. You want this, you want that, you want this, you want that, you want this. We have the power. If we want it, they will make it. If we, the consumer, want it, they will make it. We have the power. That is consumer sovereignty, and that continues to this day. Consumer sovereignty. Consumers determine what products will be produced or sold. We buy HDTV, so they make them. We don't buy VCRs, so they don't make them. And you're saying, what is a VCR? Exactly. That's my point. That is consumer sovereignty. You, the consumer, have power. And if we want flying cars, then yes, they will make flying cars. But we don't really want them. Do I really want, think to yourself, you don't really want it. And that's why they don't really make it. But eventually, as we want things, they will make things. All right, I think that takes us to the end here. Thanks for joining me. Economic concepts, remember those terms. We're going to build on them throughout the entire unit.